2024 is here, and it's time to embrace the hobby era like never before. I know finding new hobbies is often daunting. That's why in this video I'll share some high-value hobbies that will help you unleash your creative energy and improve your health. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here I talk about gentle self-improvement and creating the life of your dreams. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any upcoming videos. So 2024 started in a very interesting way for me. I set myself an intention of trying out new hobbies, new things, and not letting fear or judgment overwhelm me and stop me from fulfilling this intention. As we age, we often grow averse to try new things, and it's completely natural. We stop doing anything new because we're often afraid of getting hurt emotionally or physically, and sometimes we also have this deeper-seated reason for not wanting to change ourselves at all. I just don't want to work on myself. I don't want to change myself. That's it. And at one point, I started to realize that I was starting to become that person. I just didn't want to try anything new because I was afraid that I was gonna suck at it. And usually you do, and it's completely normal. I had my hobbies like running, and that's pretty much it. Don't get me wrong, running is an amazing hobby and I still enjoy it wholeheartedly. However, I was always afraid to take it a step further. So that's why I want to begin by helping you level up your current hobbies. Because maybe you enjoy the hobbies that you have right now and you don't want to change anything in terms of adding new hobbies. You just want to experiment with the ones you currently have, right? So for me, it was definitely joining a running club. I love running so much, but I always ran by myself. Just this idea of joining a running club and having to speak Spanish with people because I live in Mexico City and Spanish is not my native language. I was terrified, honestly. All I was thinking about is, oh my God, so many, unpleasant situations, like getting out of my comfort zone. Do I actually want it, or do I just want to go outside and run and come back home? I was terrified to do it because of my language barrier. But deep down, I knew that it would help me grow and it would motivate me to run my first half marathon or my first marathon in Mexico City. And the exact same thing was true for cycling. Maybe with cycling, there were like additional layers because I thought that I didn't have this super expensive, cool, fancy bike. And what will other people think of me because I don't have this amazing bike? How can I join this cycling club without an amazing bike? All of those things were in my head. No one actually thinks about you that much, and honestly, no one cares. And I honestly think that that was one of the reasons why I stopped cycling as much, because I didn't have a community of people. I didn't have people I could cycle with. And I really wanted to be in this, club, cycling club, in this community. I wanted this support. I wanted to meet new people. But this fear was stronger than my desire to do so. So that's why at one point I realized that I just had to work on my fears. I had to work on what was going on inside my brain. And once I worked through all of those limiting beliefs, I realized that my hobbies of running and cycling were actually amazing and I loved them so much. And maybe I wanted to introduce a few more hobbies, but I definitely wanted to experiment more with my current ones. And this is how we get into talking what you actually secretly want. Like, what are you secretly interested in? I had a few things I was secretly interested in, but I didn't want to admit it to myself, or again, all of those limiting beliefs and all of those things in my brain that were telling me that, nah, you're gonna suck, you're not gonna be good at that. Yeah, all of those things didn't allow me to try a new hobby. It happens because we don't want anything to upset our lives. So we maintain the status quo. We keep things as they are despite the fact that better things await us. It is honestly extremely sad. We don't think that we're capable. We don't think it will work for us. We say dumb things like, sure, this person can do it. They're very good at it, but I can't. I can't do it. There's no way it will work out for someone like me. But what if it will. For me, the secret thing I was always fascinated with was pottery and ceramics. I always wanted to try making things with my hands, making a cup, making a plate, and a few dishes. I was obsessed with this idea. But there was also this voice in my head that was telling me that, Veronika, you're not a kid anymore. Just stop. Stop trying. Why can't you just sit at home, enjoy your life, and not try and do pottery and ceramics? I also had this problem with perfectionism. Instead of actually going and doing pottery, like making a mug, I wanted to make a perfect mug. If I didn't make a perfect mug, it was a waste of time. If it looked ugly, well, I was a failure. And I think what I'm saying here right now is going to resonate with a lot of you guys, because all of these things, we share them. I'm sure a lot of you are telling yourselves the exact same things, like, I can't do it. It's gonna be a waste of time. I'm not a kid anymore. But if you want to go and try pottery, ceramics, anything else, you just want to try, like, you're secretly interested in it. You're like, oh, what's that? I want to try it. Just go and give it a try. That's it. And try to enjoy the process of making the cup. It doesn't have to be the prettiest cup ever, right? It's something that I started telling myself, that, Veronika, just chill, You're learning pottery and ceramics not because you want to participate in this crazy competition. You're doing it for you. So be kind and gentle to yourself. Now let's talk about some hobby ideas to try out in 2024. I compiled a list of different things for you guys to try. Maybe you're gonna be interested in those things. Just some ideas for you, something new to think about. But I want you to keep in mind that the cost of learning and trying new things is that you will suck at them at first. It is absolutely normal. It happens to me all the time. It happens to every single one of us. And probably you will suck for a few months and maybe even longer. It's especially true when you start learning a foreign language. I've been learning Spanish for a year now, and there are so many situations where I think, oh my God, I still suck at Spanish. Most people can't take this sucking period, and so they quit and don't try this thing ever again. They're too concerned with appearance and looking good in front of others. Young children have the decided advantage of not caring about looking good in front of others while trying new things. They just try and try and try. Trial and error. They keep going. They try again. They try and keep going. Therefore, trying new things is about as natural as it gets for young children. I think it's truly amazing, and I think it's such a shame that we lose this wonderful, innate ability, but we can also access it. It's innate, it's still somewhere within you, but all of those grown-up ideas hid it somewhere. So the key is to learn to access this feeling again. The first very, very interesting hobby idea to try out in 2024 is cultivating your own garden. You can grow herbs inside your house. There's so many tutorials on YouTube on how to create an herb garden at home. And I remember when I lived in New York City in 2020, I actually had a small herb garden. I grew basil, parsley, mint, and it was amazing. I loved it. Fresh herbs are a great way to elevate your cooking. They're very good for your health because they possess anti-inflammatory properties, which can help reduce inflammation in the body. And they're packed with essential nutrients, including vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. Plus, you gotta agree with me here, fresh herbs don't last that long in the fridge. And we often just throw them out. They start wilting and we're like, well, that's it. And we never even use them for the salad we initially bought them for. When you have fresh herbs in your own small garden, you can always access them and always add them to your cooking and make your meals incredibly tasty. The next hobby, or I would say a collection of hobbies, is fiber arts. So fiber arts are basically activities such as crocheting, knitting, or blanket tying. I remember when I was a kid, at one point in my life, probably my dad was, I don't know, closer to 40, and he decided to learn crocheting. And I remember as a kid, I was looking at him and I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you, Dad, because, you know, he didn't have this like stopper that a lot of adults have, like, oh my God, I'm gonna start something new, it's so difficult, I'm gonna suck. He just got interested in crocheting. He wanted to make a piece of clothing himself, and he started learning how to do it. And he actually got pretty good at it eventually over time. And a few weeks ago, TikTok recommended me this super cool video about making temperature blankets. And I was like, oh my God, this is such a nice idea for people who want to start doing something new, for example, learning how to knit or crochet, but they don't want to create anything boring, right? A very big aspect of it is actually doing something that you're gonna enjoy. When you look at this blanket that you created or this rug that you created, you have to feel excited, right? And when I was watching that video, to be honest, I got inspired to try to learn crocheting. I was like, maybe I want to learn crocheting. It looks so fun. I would absolutely love to make a blanket like that one day. When learning a creative hobby, always ask yourself, what would I want to create? And use this hobby as a tool to be able to create this thing. The next hobby is healthy baking, and I put this word healthy here on purpose because I actually really enjoy baking. I love making cookies, cakes, different sweets, and I'm also vegan. And a few months ago, I realized that a lot of the vegan treats that I was making, they were vegan, but were they actually super healthy, super good for you? Probably not, because I was using a lot of processed things, I was using a lot of sugar, and I was like, I wouldn't want to eat it every single day. And I realized that I can instead start focusing more on whole food, plant-based ingredients instead of just vegan ingredients. Make my cooking delicious, whole foods, and plant-based. If you guys are looking for something like this too, I can recommend this recipe book. It's called Whole Food Vegan Baking. I'm gonna leave the link to this book down in the description. You can check it out, you can purchase it on Amazon. It's a great book. There's so many delicious recipes with healthy and natural ingredients. And when you make all those delicious cookies that are also very good for you, you're like, yes, you know, you feel really proud of yourself. The next hobby you can try is mastering your finances. I think a lot of people don't really consider it a hobby, and they just think that, you know, you should just know everything about personal finances. But I think that if you approach it as a hobby, it makes it a lot more fun. Because instead of thinking about it as I have to do it, you start thinking about it as I want to do it. It's my hobby, so I choose to do it. I choose to master my finances. I choose to learn more things about how to manage my money and what to do with my money. And obviously it has a very good added bonus, added benefit that you actually learn what to do with your money, and it's so freaking important nowadays. When you stay curious and open, you can make learning a lot more fun. The next super interesting hobby you can try is becoming a tourist in your own city. And you know, exploring a lot of different places, maybe even creating some routes for your friends and family to explore too. This is how I fell in love with Airbnb experiences. You just go to Airbnb, you choose experiences, especially if you live in a big city. Oh my God, there's so many things to do, to try, and it's something that I'm trying to incorporate in my life here in Mexico City from time to time. Learning how to be more touristy is a great skill, because then every time you go to a new place, for example, you're traveling, you're gonna take all this knowledge that you already have, for example, how to plan your days, how to choose a hotel and stuff like that. And you'll be able to apply this knowledge to a new place and have an amazing experience because of that. Now let's talk about a hobby that is more connected to your physical health: rock climbing. I read an article that says that rock climbing is actually extremely good for you. It increases your strength, endurance, and flexibility. It's also a very social activity. There are lots of people are helping you, people are encouraging you, you're learning something new, somebody is teaching you something. So all of these aspects make rock climbing an amazing sport. And honestly, just saying that you do rock climbing Sounds so freaking cool. And finally, talking about musical instruments, I have recently discovered such a cool musical instrument called handpan, or a hand drum. The melody this instrument makes is so therapeutic. I have to tell you guys though, this instrument can be pretty pricey, so if you can find a second-hand version, it's great. You're gonna save a lot of money. Handpan music is often used in mindfulness practices and meditation sessions because it is very calming and grounding. Honestly, even just listening to handpan music can help you relax, can reduce muscle tension, and promote deep breathing. Sometimes when I feel very stressed, I just put on some handpan songs on Spotify, and oh my god, they calm me down so much. I love this. So I think it's going to be it for this video. I hope you're excited to try something new, to explore a new hobby, or maybe go deeper with the one that you already have. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're thinking about what to watch next, I highly recommend checking out this video right here. You will enjoy it a lot. I'll see you guys over there.